Hi, welcome to Everyone Can Jam. This is a place where everyone can learn to play music, and I focus on things that often simple little things that make a big difference. And I focus on things that I notice are stumbling blocks to people who really long to play music and maybe just having trouble getting started. And so this is part of a series. The series is how to make your fingers reach chord shapes on the guitar. And each video in this series focuses on a different thing. The first one focused on something that helps with C, F, and G7. Today we're focusing on the regular old G chord. And I'm going to step up on the platform so you can see. Oops, we need to scooch it in. One thing I'm learning that helps if you're a person that's having trouble with small hands. I've been getting questions about that, so I asked my husband. He has small hands and he can place circles around me, and one thing he pointed out to me is that he likes to play with a guitar that's a little shorter. This is a real standard dreadnought guitar, but he likes to play guitars that are a little bit shorter from here to here. Or you can just put a capo. I have a student who likes to play everything with the capo on the second fret. And my husband, who has small hands, said that can actually make a big difference. But for now, I'm going to do it in the usual place on the third fret. And just this lesson is not about the shape of the G chord. I'm assuming you've looked at that and you've learned, which finger goes on which string and which fret. We're just talking about that part where physically it's presenting a challenge. You should know that I also have a video about the principles that apply. It's also titled How to Make Your Fingers Reach Chord Shapes on the Guitar, and there's some principles. And I will be using those principles in this video, but I'm focusing on the G chord more than the principles. One of the principles is you will always, when you're playing, make sure you're relaxed and you have good posture. When we're first learning our chords, you want to start with a straight wrist. So hold your wrist out straight and let it be relaxed, and don't do anything yet, and just feel what that feels like to be relaxed. You don't want to keep trying and hold tension the whole time. You have your straight wrist. Look at this part of your hand, and then bring, with your straight relaxed hand, straight wrist, bring that part up and touch the guitar. For G chord, I would say you would touch right about where the second fret is. It's you don't have to be strict about it. It's going to move as every body's different. It might move a little bit. So that just gets you started. And I'm not saying you're going to keep touching the guitar. I'm just saying that's a good place to start. And try not telling these fingers to do anything. Just let this hand be relaxed. Reach over with your other hand. Take your tall finger and lay it down on the sixth string. A lot of people start with the first string, and this kind of gets you messed up because this finger's not doing what it needs to do. I think you have better luck if you start with your straight wrist, take your tall finger, put it on the third fret. Oops, wait, yeah. Third fret of the sixth string. And then what I'm noticing when I make my whole G shape, notice the angle of this finger. It's not coming up like that. This part of my hand is under the second fret, and this is just naturally laying over. And then what I would do next, and keep in mind, everybody is different. I'm being observant about what works for me, and if this exact thing doesn't work for you, be observant of other people. Watch videos, or watch them in person, and notice these little things. So what I want you to learn is not necessarily that your finger is going to be at this angle, but little things like that make a big difference. This finger, pointer finger, again, I'm not telling my left hand to move, I'm moving it with my right hand. Fifth string, 2nd fret. Oh, and do not squeeze yet. We don't squeeze until we get all our fingers in the place we want them to be. So we're not squeezing, we're just putting them in the shape that we want. And then the tricky part for G is that this finger has to bend a lot. At first it might not want to bend that much, but I'm going to help it bend. I mean, don't ever hurt yourself. Everything should be easy if you're finding the shape that's right for you. And so now, and notice my wrist is still straight. If you've gotten in the habit of throwing your wrist out like this, it will feel really awkward at first to do it with a straight wrist, but it's worth trying to change. And whenever you have to change something like that, you don't have to forbid yourself to do it the old way anymore. Just take a few minutes at the beginning of your practice and try doing it slowly and gently the new way. That will raise your consciousness, and then it will gradually go over into your regular playing. So after you focus on keeping your wrist straight, then just go on with life and play. So let's see. We got all our fingers in place. Remember, we didn't squeeze yet. Now that we have all our fingers, and yours might look a little different. You might want your thumb in a different place. We'll talk about the thumb in a minute. But when you think you have your fingers where you want them, squeeze and strum. If yours sounds more like this, or there's something that you don't like, then you have to stop, shake it, start over again. Let's see. Everybody is different. You might notice when I play my D chord, a lot of times my thumb is up high. You can also play it with your thumb behind the neck. That would be more like a proper classical position. And for me, this is healthier because I have an old injury here that I just have to be careful not to re-injure myself. And when I need to, I play like, I play with my thumb back here when I need to, and I can, but I kind of save myself sometimes by having my thumb. If your thumb is up there though, you want it bent. See this little bend? You don't want that kind of thing. That's a lot of tension. If your thumb's up, it should be bent. And this is very strong, and this is very healthy. So I hope that helps with the G chord. And if you go to www.everyonecanjam.com, you can sign up for my email list because I put things there that I won't put anywhere else. Hope to see you soon. Bye.